Tony Marston. Personally, he deserves to die.
Personally, he did deserve to die.
You don't?
No.
Why?
Just like, listen, I don't think his crime was enough for him to like die over.
I agree with
listen,
Elena.
like, so many people like run over people and like they don't get sentenced to death. I mean, like, being completely honest, they don't get sentenced to death for that.
But I feel like most people who are
I
involved in
think-
car crashes, they feel guilty. But this guy didn't feel guilty at all.
Yeah, that is
I
true.
think he
He
deserved.
is.
I think he deserved jail time, but not the punishment of death.
I agree.
I also agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he deserves his license to be taken because he's a big danger to everybody else. On
And
the
not
road, so.
suspended. I don't think it should have been suspended. I think he should have had his license taken away for good.
Yeah, I think his license
Yeah.
should have been taken away, and then he should have earned his way back. Like, went to the driver's.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
obviously he has major problems with he thinks he's perfect and he's
Reckless.
nothing wrong in himself. So he needs
He literally blames it on the roads.
He needs to be
Boy,
humble.
go on a different road. Go where you can actually use your sports car. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but okay, listen. And then on page 293, I think Wargrave says Marston, I recognize, was a type born without that feeling of moral responsibility, which most of us have. So again, like he doesn't really have that. Like,
He's
oh,
like,
I
no,
didn't
he's
really do
kinda
anything
dumb.
wrong because he doesn't have that.
Ignorant.
He doesn't have that
Yeah,
common
he's
sense that he
license
does
too.
anything wrong.
I mean, I think I understand the license suspension.
He's playing the victim.
But I still think he
in
should
a-
have died because he took 2 lives away. So what's
And,
wrong?
and they were
He's
little
playing
kids.
the
Like, they had their
victim
whole
of
lives.
a
Yeah,
situation.
I
He's
said
not
that-
either.
I
I
said
said
that
that
if
if his
to the
death,
world.
I said that if his death were to occur, it would be well deserved. Like as long as it's not him being murdered, because murdering that's wrong. But
Maybe
his
if he
death were
died
to
in
occur-
jail, that would have been something.
I mean, like if he got hit by a car, that would be the karma that he deserves.
I mean,
Yeah, do you think
Yeah.
how he died was fair? Like choking? Do you think it should have been
Choking?
something else?
Well,
No.
I think
Yeah, me too.
he
I think
that
so.
was just like that was kind of
I
like
mean, it was
He's
quick.
over
He
I'm
didn't
happy
really feel
that he was
anything,
gone
any
first.
pain. Like
Yeah.
he was gone instantly.
Yeah, and I'm happy he was gone first because he was like so annoying and just.
Yeah.
Kind of petty.
Okay,
But
anything
I
else?
don't
Anything
think-
Okay.
else?
I
He's
think
a pretty
switching to Mrs. Rogers now, like how she died after him, I think that should have been switched.
Yes,
she should
have
I
been
completely
first?
agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah,
Because
you know what?
her crime wasn't as, like,
Do you think she deserved to die? Yes or no?
I don't think she
I don't think
I
so.
don't
No.
Me neither.
Wargrave says that he fully believes that she acted upon her husband forcing her to.
Yeah,
And
her
I
husband,
agree.
like,
I agree.
influenced
like,
her.
Yeah, influenced
to do
her.
it.
Like peer pressure.
He like dominated over her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Miss Brady was also super sick and could have died at any really
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So it wasn't like all on her.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
there was like a storm, and
Yeah.
they could have got hurt in the storm.
Yeah.
Even though Miss Brady was like gonna die.
I
Yeah,
just- I
exactly.
just-
Like, what's the point
I have
of rescuing
something to
her?
say-
I think
I have
that
something to
she-
say
I
about
think
that,
she
but I'll
did
get
as much
I'll
as
get
she
to that with
could.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah, I
She did
think
as much as she
Mrs.
could. Based on her job, like she was literally a maid, so you can tell she was a woman who like loved to help others.
Yeah.
So of course she would try to help Miss Brady as much as she could.
Yeah. But then
Yeah.
again, she would also try to help her husband.
I think
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
but I think she did as much as she could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, like,
We're good
the
with
way
that.
she died, like, the painless death, and, like, was straightforward, I think that suited her
Yeah.
the most.
Now, do you want to talk about Mr. Rogers? Who do you
No.
think should have died more, Mr. Rogers or Mrs. Rogers?
Mr.
Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
He only
Good
cared about the
Lord.
money.
he's
Really?
Yeah, he,
Yeah.
I really think so.
I think,
he like manipulate. I feel like he manipulated her.
Was
Yeah, I
there
think
any
that was
examples of
later.
that? Because I don't really remember.
there was one, like, it wasn't, it was a theory, like, that he was only after the money for it, but it wasn't actually proven.
Yeah,
Well,
I do
I
not buy
agree.
the I couldn't help excuse. Like what is
Yeah,
that?
and I
Don't
believe
buy it. Don't buy it.
he said that he went on foot in the rain harder to put it in like
I
brutal
don't think
terms.
I don't think he tried his hardest to save Miss Brady.
Like
I think he just
I don't think he necessarily he didn't
he didn't
killed her,
try.
but like
If the
again
death
if it was the money could have driven him enough to like not
care.
even
Yeah,
care.
I
that
did
she
say.
dies.
I did say. He
Like,
didn't
almost
deserve to
like-
die.
But, like not enough to kill her.
not
Yeah.
putting in 110% to save her life.
Yeah, I also
I-
think that he shouldn't. I mean, yeah, he did technically kill her, but I don't think he should have died the way he did.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. His
Her
way
way
more
was a little
It
brutal.
doesn't match.
That was
Like,
a little
what
brutal
he
for
did.
him.
Yeah.
Maybe for someone
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
I feel like not how Miss Rogers died, but something a little more.
I
than
feel
how she
like
died,
maybe
because,
he
yeah,
should
she
have
wasn't
been killed
fully
earlier.
Yeah.
the murderer.
Well,
But
I
it
feel
doesn't
like-
really work.
I feel
Going
like he
from
felt guilty,
Miss
though.
Rogers and then General, I mean, it was a big step up, and then it
Yeah.
just kind of went along.
Yeah, no, he did
Yeah.
feel guilty, but I feel like he masked, like, he tried to cover up, like, his guilt with, like, stories of the, like, him trying to save her. Like, I feel like there is the part of him that did want her to die, and he wished her to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just he's kind of a suspicious guy.
I
but
remember him
don't think
saying
he-
that like people could tell that they were devoted to her, so that's why I think I didn't think he deserved to die because, I mean, he did go out in the storm. I mean, at least he tried. I mean,
Yeah, but what if we don't know? Like, wasn't that just a story, right?
Yeah.
Or was
Yeah,
that
he
just
could
could
have
have
been
been
some-
just saying that to the guests to like
Like-
manipulate them.
Yeah, I was thinking that was like.
that's like a whole other
story.
thing.
Alright, well, do you guys want to go to McCarthy now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he should have died.
He
Okay.
should've died.
I don't think he should have died.
I don't think
either.
he should have died.
I do.
Honestly, it's his. That was his wife. Okay, if you had to send he had to send someone on.
Let me see what it is.
I think he had to have sent someone on the mission, but I mean, if anyone, he should have chose Arthur, because it's basically like killing two birds with one stone. He doesn't want the affair to continue, so you want to stop the affair, and you want to and you want to stop the mission. I mean, you want to.
Yeah.
I think that,
So,
I mean, he was just he was trying to save his marriage and his relationship he had with his wife. So, in a way,
And he was like clearly hurt about what Arthur was doing, and he actually wanted to save his marriage. Like
Yeah.
Lexi said.
Okay, I think he deserved to die because, okay, someone had to go for that job, but I just think that he sent Arthur out of like hatred. Like he could have sent someone who was more skilled and he knew what had a better chance to come back. And Elena said on this, which I 100% agree with, there's so many people in the world who get
Desire to kill him.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was
How
that
about
moment.
just let her go? She don't want you, boy. She don't want you. Let her go.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Emily Brent.
Emily.
Emily.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
She's a little weird. I don't know.
I said yes.
I said no.
I said
Okay.
no.
I said no, but
I said no.
she's really crazy.
Listen,
She's messy.
treat
I
people
don't-
with,
I
treat
don't
people
think-
with kindness, but like sometimes that
She's
don't
just-
work.
She's just
Some people are just
very
I think she's just like driven by her beliefs and how
Yeah,
she views
yeah.
life.
I thought that too.
So
Yeah.
like it just
Yeah.
kind of like possessed her.
It makes
You
her a
guys-
bad
her-
Do
person.
you guys
Yeah.
know
She
what?
thought
Do you
was
guys know
right.
what religious psychosis is? She might have had that.
She
bro.
might.
Do you know what
yeah.
that is?
no.
It's
Really? I
like
think
basically
I can-
obsessing over.
Over religion, because you know
Yeah.
she was reading the
Oh.
Bible a lot in the book.
Yeah.
Like this is an example. This is not like this is like real world stuff. But like I've heard of some like families who like if their kid is sick, instead of taking them to the hospital, they'll be
Yeah,
praying,
they
and then their
pray,
kid
yeah.
dies. Like
Yeah.
that's like not right. And I think maybe she had something like that because I think instead of kicking out Beatrice, she could have taught her ways and her morals because I feel like morals are learned,
Yeah.
and Beatrice didn't grow up with her. So like why would you have the same?
Yeah.
You
things
don't
as
just
her?
you're not just born with what you believe in.
And also, I think she should have died because, like, this is also like a real world example. You hear about like cases of kids getting bullied at school so bad to where they do commit suicide, and I think
Yeah.
this is something like that. So I do think she should have died because of that, though. And also, she's so old. This is this is like a young girl. What are you doing?
Yeah, she's like she's
Yeah.
like a teenager.
What are you doing?
But also, like, Beatrice was living with Emily, and Emily kind of did that, like, voluntarily. So I
That's
feel like
true,
if she
yeah.
doesn't want her
In her house.
in her house, and if her morals don't align with her Emily's morals, then she can kick her out because
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
I
said
mean,
that she's a really bad person, but I don't think it's not like evil. It's
Yeah,
just it's just
yeah, I
really
think she
bad.
had
It's
a right
just
to kick her out, but I
I-
think there
Yeah.
could have been smarter things she could have.
She,
Yeah.
she
I
shouldn't have
think
like
she-
treated her so poorly. I mean,
I don't think
She
she
could've-
should have died.
like when she was like was she at her door and like begging to like let her in?
I think so. I don't know.
She could have at least just talked to her and not just like shut her out. But I still don't think she should have died.
I think that it was just a very cruel thing to do. It was in the book. It said her own action, her own sin. That was what drove her to do it.
Yeah, she's very casual
So.
about it. It's like she was
Yeah.
very
But
She-
she
I
she
feel like
has
she
a
knows
picture.
Yeah, she didn't regret what she did.
That
But-
also.
But
yeah,
then
he
there
thinks
was that
she
moment when
deserves
Yeah.
she was kind of haunted by her, like she was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's when she.
So I feel
realized
like
it.
she did have guilt, but she didn't show
It was too late because she
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
she was already dying, like dead the next chapter. So
On page 111, Emily said that it was her own action and that the sin drove her to do it, which again is like going with how Emily, her morals.
Yeah.
When she
Yeah. So what
said
she
that,
believes in.
what did she mean? Like her own action, her own sin. She was talking about Beatrice, right?
Yeah.
What does she mean her own sin? Like her.
Like
own
her
she
own-
got
she
yeah,
sinned.
she got
She
pregnant.
sinned.
Like
Without-
she got
That was
pregnant
her
without
sin.
Oh,
being
okay,
married.
that's what I thought.
So that's like what drove Emily to kick her out because that's not what Emily believed in.
Okay.
Okay, last. No,
No.
not last.
Wargrave.
Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was the mastermind behind everything, and he murdered everyone. And like,
yeah, I mean,
like his motive was to serve justice.
Yeah, especially when he did.
He could have done it in court, like the judge and sentencing Seaton, was it Seaton? Seaton case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the way he sentenced him by changing the jury's mind was a bit like
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, I think Lillian said that. She said that he tried to bring justice to others, but there were
But
like
it
different
didn't-
ways to
it
do
didn't
that.
satisfy
you didn't have
his-
to kill him.
His need to
Yeah.
kill.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's kind of like hypocritical. Like,
Yeah.
he like kills them.
He literally
For killing
says like that he
someone.
needed to kill. Like,
Yeah, that's something
that's
that he
crazy.
rooted
That
in.
is
Yeah.
a
I
big-
feel like he knew that he was supposed to, like, he should have died for it. Like that's why
Yeah.
he is.
I
That's
think
why
that
kills-
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
think he should have done things differently, like handled it in a more mature way,
I
and
think-
it could have affected the whole outcome of.
Yeah,
His
no,
life.
we have
Yeah.
the book, and I think it's.
And I know he stated something in the end of the book. He stated about how he knows that like a psychologist would understand what his mind is like, how his mind processes this, but he didn't. I don't think it was definitely not right of him to kill everyone, and I know he felt guilt because he, in the end killed himself. But
Yeah, and I think he could have done it over and over again. So if he did live, he probably and like he knew he wouldn't been like caught or anything. I think
he
would
would
have done it over and over again. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't
So-
show any guilt.
Yeah.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
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 I think he
From what I
definitely
wrote, I
should have
changed my
died.
opinion.
I-
I think he should have.
I don't think he should have.
I think
I-
Armstrong deserved to die, but not for teaming up with Wargrave, but for his crime. Like
For his
why he was
crime,
on
that
the
is-
list.
Until our talk earlier, I completely forgot that Armstrong didn't know anything.
Yeah,
Except
Armstrong-
that Wargrave was
Armstrong
trying
was
to play
just-
himself to like.
Armstrong
Trigger.
teamed up with him because he thought that Wargrave was gonna be looking for the killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
And I,
Yeah.
that
He was
completely
doing
left my
that.
mind, and
Yeah.
now I changed my opinion. I don't think he should have.
I thought he like got with him out of fear. Like
No.
he was
didn't even
completely in the
kill him.
dark.
He was
because
just naive.
Wargrave said
Oh,
that he was
yeah.
a gullible guy, so he just tricked him into teaming up with him.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I
he said
do
that
remember
he said
that.
that he was suspicious of Lombard. So that's what Wargrave, like that's how Wargrave dragged him in because that's what Armstrong was suspicious of Lombard. So that's what Wargrave said to
Yeah,
drag
he
him
thought
in and
he was
help
gonna
him.
find him and,
Yeah.
and uncover it.
I
Yeah,
think
don't think.
I personally think
Yeah, I think
his
he should.
his crime
I think he
alone
should die.
his crime alone deserves the penalty of death. It was not right. He could have controlled his actions, and he should not have operated on that girl.
Yeah, even
Under
the
the influence.
Sometimes when you're drunk, you can't like control what you do
But-
because your mind's out of it. And maybe he thought that he wasn't drunk, so he
Yeah.
went into operation. And he was like, "Oh crap, I can't
And
do this."
I will give him some mercy because he did feel very, very guilty about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
I'm in the middle. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think it was bad what he did, but at least he felt guilty about it. And also, I don't know if this is far fetched, but like he's a doctor, and he killed one person, but he's helped so many other people.
No,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is so true.
And I feel like
I think that it was deserving of his medical, like for him to be fired.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
could have
Definitely
fired or
deserved
maybe
that.
jail time.
Yeah,
But like,
jail
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how guilty he is,
Yeah.
he still did it, so it would deserve, some jail time.
yeah.
And I know that like surgeons, obviously, like people die on the table, right? But at the same time, most surgeons aren't drunk when they operate.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he
Yeah, that
could've,
is true.
like
Have
chose
good-
not to drink.
And
Yeah.
maybe he did have good intentions, but it's like you just
He wasn't in the right mind.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
to
kind of like
operate.
common sense.
And yeah,
like, why would you do
It's
that?
common sense. Like, why would you operate while you're drunk?
But again, when people are drunk, they don't have common sense.
Yeah.
They can't
True.
think like that. They can't be like, oh, I'm drunk. I shouldn't be operating. Like,
I
they're
don't
just like,
remember.
oh, I'm not.
Also said like when the patient dies, they always consider it the surgeon's fault, kind of like shifting the guilt away from him to the patient, like shifting
Yeah.
the fault from him to the patient,
Yeah. Which it's like,
even though he knows what he did. And
yeah. I don't know.
okay, Mr. Bloor. I think
I forget what I
Yeah.
said.
He's I don't know, he's a weird.
selfish. Why would he choose?
Definitely selfish, yeah.
Why would
Yeah.
he want? Like he only wanted that promotion.
He
could
said
have
that
only
innocent
waited
man
on
just
himself.
for
Yeah.
his benefit.
Yeah, like that's.
he could have waited
Okay.
until someone was actually guilty to get the promotion,
Yeah.
but he wasn't.
And who said that he had to convict the person like that they were guilty to get the promotion? He could have found them innocent and then got the promotion. Who said that
Yeah.
he had to?
And
Yeah.
then he shows
Yeah.
no sign of like remorse or like
Yeah.
barely any guilt. It's
Yeah,
like nothing.
He told the others that he was like doing his job, but I feel like you can only go so far to reach
Yeah.
like human decency.
I
Why
think-
would you do that?
Yeah.
I think he definitely deserved to die. He's just selfish and greedy.
And especially because like
Yeah.
all of his like coworkers were helping him too to get that promotion and helping him like get the guy.
Do you think maybe
Yeah.
he was peer pressured? Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't really remember.
I think
if
he was
saw it.
driven by the fact that he was gonna get a promotion.
Yeah, I think he was
Yeah.
driven
Yeah,
by
just
money.
for his benefit.
He
Yeah.
was driven by
He's
money,
just
so he could
So greedy.
have that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know.
and I think murder is extreme, but I think he did have it coming for him.
Yeah.
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 And didn't Landor like?
I
he
think
didn't
he could've-
physically kill Landor, but he didn't Landor die in jail or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. He said something about like he sent him in jail, but he didn't know he was gonna die in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he could have suffered less. I think he could have been he could have died earlier in the story.
Wasn't he the one
Right
in the
on.
bear
Clock. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he could have been like
I
maybe
think his
punishment-
death was like a good time.
Yeah.
I think he could have been switched with like Armstrong.
I don't think he suffered that bad. I think the impact of his death, like when he fell out of the window, like didn't he fall out of the window? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think he was kind of left because he would be most likely to turn on
Yeah.
turn on
Yeah.
someone else. Like he would
Mhm.
easily turn on someone for his own benefit.
He's also a detective, and like so he knows how to like trick people.
Yeah.
True.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
Philip.
Philip.
He deserved to die.
Yep.
He stole
no
food from a
remorse.
native like tribe.
He's arrogant.
he also
Yes,
acts
very
like they
selfish.
don't, their lives don't matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally.
The natives don't mind dying.
Yes. And he said they don't feel about it as Europeans do.
Yeah,
I
That
think
is
it's
that
just,
some
like,
sort of
always
racism chat?
Yeah. Like,
Caring about himself.
I think he deserved to die just for like stealing their food and leaving them behind.
Yeah, he said self-preservation is a man's first duty. But I feel like, okay, if you really want to do that, you could have took half. You didn't have to take it all. Like, he did it with a couple other people. But I don't know, like, what else they said about that. But I just think he deserved to die because he could have took maybe a
My
little bit,
thing
not all
is-
of it. It was 21 men.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
How much
not
do
just the
y'all
one.
really love yourself? Like, would you sacrifice yourself for?
No.
I would.
I think
Or no, I
Would you
feel like,
sacrifice
I feel
others
like
for
my
yourself?
safety comes first than others. I will prioritize myself. And
I think
that's
that-
what he had to
Because
do.
he didn't know them.
Maybe.
That's-
Exactly.
Yeah, because if I didn't
Like,
know,
if I was in a
like,
group
if there
of
was a group of people,
strangers,
yeah, like if it was a bunch of people I didn't know,
I
and
would
it
prioritize
I'd
myself.
say
My safety is my first.
maybe
priority.
he could have left some food.
I think it's
For
just
them?
the fact that he showed no regret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
these are
He was
still
happy
people.
he did it. He was happy that he killed all of them.
Yeah.
I think it's that.
I think
That's
it's
what gets me. I'm
okay
like in the
that-
middle.
I think it's like okay that he like chose to save himself, but the fact that he didn't
Yeah, he doesn't
even
feel
care.
guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
feel like he places himself so superior to everybody. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's
he
just
had
a-
like something against her. Like
Yeah.
I forget. I don't know if this is right, but like I remember when like Vera was starting to kind of go crazy or something. Or no, when they were searching the
Yeah, when they were
island,
searching the island, they were
She
like,
would-
don't rope in the women.
the
don't rope
women,
in
yeah,
the women.
women
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Wait, what's that one? Misogynistic.
yeah.
And then he kept saying how a woman couldn't commit a murder, like even like
Yeah.
saying that they're. I feel like it just said that they're weak. Not
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
that. Not even that. It's like
He thinks he's just so superior. I think he has
Yeah.
a big ego.
exactly.
Yeah.
I forget who said this, but somebody was like, Vera's athletic type. I don't know if
Yeah.
somebody said that or if that
Yeah.
was just like a thing in the book. But she was the athletic type and she could have easily murdered somebody. I don't know why. Like Lombard thought the way he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she did, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
she did.
And Emily could have killed someone, although she was like an older lady, more
Some of them
like
older ladies
fragile.
got strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His experience. Even with poison, I feel like anyone could kill anyone.
Yeah.
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 You
No
can't
matter
say
how
anything.
big or small.
Yeah, because there's
Yeah.
so many ways
Yes.
to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vera, last one.
Vera.
Yeah, that's one. Vera.
All right.
Yeah.
Deserve
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
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 100%.
Bro, there's no way she let a child drown for a man.
That, yeah.
Oh my
For-
god.
For a
And-
man
okay.
and money.
And if she was with Hugo, I feel like she wouldn't regret it. Like
No.
if she
She
ended
would
up
have
being
no
with him.
regret.
And because she had the money.
She said she
Yeah.
needed the money for the marriage, but I feel like you don't really need
Hugo
to be married.
ended
You
up
can love him
leaving
as much
her.
as you can.
Yeah, if
She
she
cared
really
about the
loved
money.
Hugo,
Yeah.
she wouldn't care about the money, or she wouldn't like
Yeah.
try to kill
I
the child.
think the
If she
guilt-
really loved him, and she knew how much he loved, Cyril.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So,
the guilt. The
I
guilt.
mean-
Go ahead.
It's just like unnecessary because like she really did it for the money because Hugo ended up leaving her
Yeah,
because
I completely
she
agree with
killed Cyril.
him not being able to forgive her.
Yeah.
Which is like 100% not.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I feel like the
That's your
guilt.
nephew.
I feel like the guilt was directed towards Hugo. Like not so much of the killing, but it was towards the guilt that she's not with him anymore.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
guilt, like that Cyril's mother did not blame her for the death, and just
That-
knowing that
yeah.
it was 100% your fault.
And
just, like,
later on,
yeah.
when she
Yeah.
started
I
like
mean-
hallucinating about it, she said horrid, whiny, spoiled little brat.
Yeah.
She's
Exactly.
acting like it's like Cyril's fault that he was the one inheriting the money. I think it's
Yeah,
so
it's
immature
not.
she blamed him for it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I think you can see how like judgmental she is, like based off of that.
Yeah.
Just because Cyril was getting money, he can't control that.
Yeah, and at like the
And
beginning
it's
of
not
the
like
story,
he's actually getting the money. It's probably going to a trust fund or something because he's a little child.
I, like,
You don't give a little child a whole. Continue.
like the
completely
beginning of the
interrupted.
story, you could like she was like so nice, like would her story was completely different, and then towards the end you can see the actual person she is, like only cared about herself,
Yeah, she
and
like,
money,
kept to
and
herself.
God.
Yeah.
So
She
she like
always
completely
came out.
changed.
She kept to herself.
after
at the
she only
beginning.
cared about herself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's also another one that was selfish. Like,
Yeah.
She was so
Yeah.
selfish.
And I think the fact that even Hugo didn't forgive her just
Yeah.
Yeah.
says
She also
everything.
like
Yeah.
at the beginning she would like look at the water and think of Cyril.
She
but,
like knew in the back of her
Yeah.
head it wasn't right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started feeling sympathy for her, but then like I remember that
She-
Cyril is a little kid. Like
She
killed-
lied to the others
Yeah.
about it. Like,
Yeah.
She still
Yeah.
didn't even
and
admit.
that's why she died last because her crime was so
Did she admit it in the end? Like I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
she admitted it to Lombard that
Oh,
she did
yeah.
it for a man.
She did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that he guessed it and then she was
Yeah.
like,
She
that's why I did
basically
it.
admitted to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember at the end before she died, she was like, "This is what Hugo would have wanted." Like, you're not even thinking about the kid you killed. You're just thinking about Hugo. He
Yeah.
doesn't want you. He doesn't
Yeah.
forgive you.
Let it go.
Yeah. And yeah, I think she's definitely capable of murder and even murdering again because she killed Lombard. So
Yeah.
I think she definitely.
Emily deserved to die because of not realizing that the way she treated Beatrice led her to suicide and not having remorse.